The new press secretary lady was asked a question. I don't remember what show it was on, but she was asked, "Hey, we heard the president's planning on running again, but he's clearly in decline." They weren't saying he's clearly in decline, but he's clearly in decline, and they were nice about how they phrased it. And she answered, like, confused, like, "I don't understand. The president's got more energy than me. We can't keep up with him." It's clearly not true. And Don Lemon, it was Don Lemon. So he's trying to keep his job now and pretend to be a journalist and pretend to be neutral. When he's not neutral, everyone knows he's not neutral. He spent 4 years calling the former president racist. He's cried on TV. He's not neutral. But anyway, he's keeping a straight face as she answers and lies to him. CNN's trying not to be biased, and they're firing everyone who is or was, and it's going to catch up to Lemon, but he doesn't know it yet. I think they're supposed to be getting rid of Brian Stelter soon. But anyway, he's sitting there with a straight face as she lies and says, "Oh my gosh, we can't even keep up with him. He's so energetic. His staff is running around trying to keep up with him." Man, come on. The left is pretending like we're not seeing his decline. The right was making jokes of it, and now it's more kind of a fear/sadness, like this is elderly abuse. What we're seeing is elderly abuse. And I don't know who's running the country, but that's the scary part. Like, most people age in office, and it's pretty well known, and it's been stated hundreds of times. When a guy goes into office, he can look like he's 50, and when he gets out, he's going to look like he's 70. It happened to all the presidents, except for the last one. But it's a very stressful job. They're making really tough decisions, and it takes its toll on people. We've seen it. Everyone's seen it. This president's that's not going to happen to him, because he was already old before he went in. He did not have a stressful run because the media ran for him. He just stayed in his house and napped. Came out, most with the most votes in the history of this country. He's not making decisions, which is kind of scary, because we really should know who is. We really should know who is. There's no toll on him, on his mind, on his body. He's not doing anything. So when the people elected him, you people elected him, I didn't elect him. When you people elected him, you thought you were getting somebody who was just old Uncle Joe who says stupid things, and pretty dim guy, but he's going to unite the country. And he hasn't. He's been more divisive than anyone. I'm trying to think of another president who was as divisive. Obama on race was pretty divisive later in his term, like in the second half of his first term. But Biden is next level. Like, if you don't agree with him, you are the enemy. You are ultra MAGA, ultimate MAGA, whatever he says. But he doesn't just say that. He doesn't stop there. He says they're all white supremacists. But when he goes and meets other world leaders, I remember liberals pretending to care about that kind of stuff and saying, you have to be presidential, and the other leaders have to respect our leader. How can you respect a guy who can't ride a bike? I think I learned around 5 years old, somewhere around there. Many people learn earlier than that. So it's not an ability thing. It's not one of those things that, you know, you have to wait till a certain age to learn. It's simple balance. This guy, they're so interested in proving that he's capable and strong and he's healthy that they're putting him in danger. They're putting him at risk. I've said it before. Why is he walking up and down stairs by himself? He shouldn't be. But they know the optics of having to have somebody hold his hand upstairs and hold his hand as he goes downstairs, because he tripped up the stairs the other day again. And while it seems like something really small, if it happens once, that's one thing. But he's tripped up the stairs twice now, which means his legs aren't doing what his brain thinks they're doing. He can't navigate stairs. Stairs are regulated to a certain height, and the reason they do that is so you don't have to think about going up them. Your body knows as it goes up, okay, this is how high this leg needs to go. This is how high this leg needs to go. And I'm pretty sure there's some kind of code that says you can't adjust those up. Meaning one stair can't be, 8 inches and the next one 11 inches. Because as people navigate the stairs, they're not thinking about it. Because you don't have to think about it. Because they're all the same height. They can be shorter, but they just can't be higher. And I don't believe that they can alternate. So when you get to the top, the very top is usually where you'll trip, because sometimes it'll be a little bit shorter, a little bit higher. When you get to the bottom, I've had it happen where you think there's one more step. Okay, I'm good with you tripping like that. But when it's in the middle of the stairs, something's wrong. You're distracted? Possibly. You're talking to your wife, you're talking to your friends. I get that. He's by himself going up the stairs into an airplane. Twice. And at what point is it abuse that they keep having him do these things? Like when he's walking across the White House lawn and he's shuffling and his hands are like this because he's terrified walking by himself. When somebody should be there. When he's getting led away by the Easter Bunny, his hands are like this because he's terrified. Even with assistance, he's terrified. When his wife walks up behind him, oh my God, they're asking him questions. I got to get him away so they don't know. He looks at her. It takes him a second to realize it's his wife. Then he calls her Joe instead of Jill. And he's Mr. Magoo. So then they put him on a 10 speed or a 12 speed and say, oh, I got an idea. Let's show how healthy he is and let's ride around the block. Problem is they got to stop at some point. And they got toe holds on his pedals for some reason. And I guess that makes sense when you have somebody who's really old to have toe holds while they're riding so that they don't lose their grip, their foot grip, slip or anything like that. The problem is when you got to stop. Why not lower the seat so his feet plant directly on the ground? Because if his feet are planting on his toes and one foot gets stuck because he's not able to control his own legs or feet, you can have a catastrophe in your hands. And that's what happened, essentially. Yay, everybody sees him riding a bike. Look at my healthy president. Look at the healthy president. Yay, all the leftists. Hello, Mr. Healthy President. Getting those 15 miles in. Knowing he went around the corner and couldn't even do that right. Hey, Mr. Healthy President. He stops. Hey, everybody. Boom. Gone. How can he meet with other world leaders when you know in the back of their mind thinking this guy can't even ride a bike? He needs training wheels. He probably still would have fell with training wheels. How can anyone respect this guy and he can't ride a bike? He can't walk stairs. He can't answer questions. He can't talk to other adults without them helping him through the conversation. Why are you leftists pretending he's okay? And thanking him for the job he's doing. He's not doing anything. He's clearly not capable. Our president can't ride a bike. The most powerful man in the world can't ride a bike. And this is not an insult to people who never learned how to ride a bike and had better things to do in their minds than learn how to ride a bike. Or they have a fear of having happened what happened to Joe Biden. Or maybe they were hit by a car at some point and now they're just terrified of going too fast in a vehicle or on a bike and getting hit by a vehicle or not being able to stop. We've all fallen off bikes, but usually there's a reason for it. Typically, something goes wrong. Maybe the chain popped off. Back in the day, the chain will pop off and you're like, oh crap, I can't stop. Now I got to use my foot or my feet and rub the back tire till I slow down. Or I mean, there's reasons. You're messing around with your friends and somebody pushes you off or stuff happens, but not when you're just going straight and you come to a stop. That's not where it should happen. You shouldn't stop and then just tip over. I've even seen that happen on motorcycles, but the weight is what pulled them down because they didn't keep their bike straight, and the motorcycles can be really heavy. I've seen that happen, and I've seen them lose it. Like, you see them trying, you see their legs start, the one leg, whatever way the motorcycle's tipping, you'll just see it like, oh, and then they just have to bail. He's not even strong enough to bail. He just kept going. The President of the United States, the most powerful man on earth, the leader of the free world, couldn't even jump off the bike when it started falling. You guys are so proud of him. You sit there thanking him. What a great job our healthy president's doing. Man, our healthy president is the greatest president of all time. He's doing all these great, wonderful things for us. He's cutting off oil production, raising gas prices to the national average of, I think it's $5.50 now. He's so healthy. He's so presidential. Why are they trying to prove to us how healthy he is? Why did they stick him on that bike? Because we've seen other presidents do it. We've seen Obama do it. I'm pretty sure we've seen Bush do it, where they're just riding a bike. Maybe they want to go out for a little stroll and then jump on a bike and then finish it off there and stop off at a pond and look at the water, and because they don't get out much. But when you're 132 years old, that's a little different. It looks a little different. He should have a walker. He should also have somebody walking next to him in case the walker fails, in case the little tennis ball comes off the bottom. Embrace it. I think people would be much more receptive because that would be something honest. I think that's all people want, is just be honest. It's pretty difficult to take somebody seriously when they stop on a bike and just do this. Didn't even take his left hand off the handlebar. Like, if your reaction time is so bad that you can't bail off of a bicycle, and it's not just not bailing, but you can't even get your left hand off the steering, off the handlebar, there's a delay. There's reality, and then there's your perception of it and your failure to understand the danger you're in. Because what if the pedal went through his calf? Or broke his ankle? We already had him walking around on a boot at the beginning of his presidency because his unruly dog supposedly, while he's playing with his dog, coming fresh out the shower, butt naked, petting his dog, knocked him over and he hurt his foot. You remember that? You probably don't remember that because you don't watch the news. You probably saw him in that ridiculous boot and figured, oh man, I wonder what happened. Maybe he had some kind of surgery. No. He said he was playing fetch with his dog as he stepped out of the shower. Because that happens it happens all the time. You ever get the shower going, your dog runs up, your 75-pound dog runs up, and you walk out of the shower and you don't dry off, you don't get it together, you don't reach for a towel, you start petting the dog and playing fetch as you're naked. This is the leader of the free world. This is your healthy... Hey, I appreciate our healthy president. Most popular president of all time. He's so healthy.